Hey everyone, welcome to your Wednesday update. Definitely not filmed Sunday during middle hour when all of us were here. Before we talk and introduce these two members of the church, everyone look right over Donna's head.
Oh.
See that weird, no, on the camera. See that weird sign that's floating over your head? You know what that says?
For distance.
That says, "Look good, Baton Rouge." This adopted by something, the sign's all funky, the senior youth of the Unitarian Church of Baton Rouge, and it's misspelled. That has been on the neutral ground between our church for probably since the 90s. Anyway, I found it knocked over, so I brought it in. Maybe we can archive it. There you go. Welcome to Wednesday Update. My name is Nathan. I'm one of your ministers. And who am I here with?
I'm Donna Yelverton, and I am the chair of the volunteer membership team.
And Suzanne, who are you?
I'm part of the membership team, and my focus is on hospitality, which means that includes everyone in the church.
So why do people come to church? What do you think?
I think that people are coming to church. The biggest reason that gets them here is that somebody asked them to come.
So not billboards.
Not billboards, not advertising. Maybe they look at the website, but there are studies that say that the biggest reason they come is because somebody they know, either a friend, a neighbor, a coworker, a relative, invited them to come. And that's even more true when we're talking about younger people. People like 18 to 35 are about 60% of them who responded to the survey said that they come either to church or back to church because somebody they care about asked them to.
But Donna, that's scary because that means I have to talk about this church.
And what we have to talk about is why we want to share this church with them. Most people are coming because they have a need, and that might be a need for community. It might be a need to get them through hard times. Something is missing, and we probably have what that is missing to offer.
So can I ask both of you a question? Either of you can answer. And this is almost, I think, a universal experience, so you have to answer correctly. When you came to this church, and I'm going to call out our own people for a second here. When you came to this church, the first few times, did you look around and say, I didn't know all of these people I knew were part of this church? Did you?
I did, for sure. Yes.
I didn't so much, except that there was one person who I had worked with for years who I had no idea was a part of this church. So I was really glad to see that person here. And it made me, I've thought about that since then, that I probably worked with people or have neighbors or friends who might come if they knew that I was coming.
And it's not about converting them, right? It's not about proselytizing. I think there's a fine balance of saying we have a church that has been meaningful to the three of us, I'm presuming.
We love this church.
And for you to show up that first time and to see these other people who could have told you about this thing before, but they didn't, right?
I was going to quickly tell my story because I told it before. Is that we were invited to do a peace panel here because at that time I was newly into activism and doing peace and justice work. And when I arrived and we did the peace panel, I looked around and it's like, whoa, here are the people who want to make this world a better place. And I never left.
So, all right. So what you're saying is we should not spend tens of thousands of dollars on billboards and direct mailers, or we could, but it would not be as effective.
I think today what we wanted to talk about, especially, there's a lot to talk about with hospitality, is talking about there are a lot of folks after the pandemic who did not come back. And usually you just have a short time to get those people back or they're gone. However, the pandemic changed that. People who are not attending services here at the church, some are watching, doesn't mean they're disconnected. However, they're not part of us, and that we have more time to reach out to them. That's been extended. It's time for us to reach out now. And whoa, what better time than on Bring a Friend Sunday, which is next Sunday. It's a gospel service. It's one of those exciting events, fun events that you can invite people to. If you're a little uncomfortable about saying, why haven't you been at church? It's like, hey, the gospel service is coming up. You know how great it is. I hope you can make it.
So what you're saying is, if I am uncomfortable maybe asking someone to come to church who I'm friends with, but I don't know if they would want to come to the church. Mm-hmm. Another way is to reach out to someone you know is a member of the church, but you haven't seen in a while, either to get them to church or just because you miss them.
To tell them we miss them. Yeah, that's so important.
And they're missing cool stuff, frankly. Like the stuff we're doing right now, and I'm saying this mostly because of Reverend Chris and the work that Suzanne and Donna are doing, but this church feels alive and exciting in ways that I haven't felt in a while. And I'm thrilled. Like I'm sad people are missing it.
Yeah, so are we. And we miss seeing them and being with them and with community. And that's what most people say. If you ask them why they belong to a Unitarian church, it's to have community and to be impactful by doing things with others. And Donna mentioned some of the data. And one thing that stuck with me is 41% of people, formerly churched people, said, yeah, I'd return if someone asked me. If someone invited me. I know I go to an exercise class regularly. If I'm not there, somebody wants to know why. They ask Dave if I miss too many times. They give me a call or they text me and they go, everything okay? And I feel good because I know I missed if I'm not there. I'd like to see us be able to do that same kind of concern.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and this is the perfect time to do it. Any time is good, but this coming Sunday, we will be celebrating with the gospel service. We will be providing information to our new and longtime members at our Connections Fair.
That's true. We're having a thing, aren't we?
Yes.
What is that thing we're doing?
The Connections Fair, and Penny Nichols is working hard to get the signage up, but we'll have tables for all of the different ministry teams as well as for governance, all the different activities and programming that we do here at the church. You can find out about opportunities to get more engaged, and you can not only find out what's going on, but how you can get involved in it.
And literally, we're not recording this Sunday, but if we were, right out that door would have been Penny Nichols with like 50 signs all over scattered around saying, all right, we have the hospitality team, we have the worship guild, we have the meditation group. Do we have them? Maybe not. Anyway, so it's a fun time. Go ahead.
And I'm going to be at the membership table, and I'm going to be talking about hospitality, what we're talking about here today. And what I do each Sunday for about 30 people who signed up at the Connections Fair last year, I send them information, things that I'm learning. First, most important thing is I send them a flyer, which is basically what we get on our newsletter emails. But I also pull out the things that I think might be great to which we can invite people and feel, because they're either celebrations or important events that folks may have missed. And so what I'm going to be doing is, if you come by the hospitality, you are not signing up for a particular role except being hospitable and welcoming everyone. That means greeting and welcoming folks who are coming for the first time, but also everyone we know, building relationships with the people who are already here. So sign up for that. I promise you, you will not be assigned to anything that you don't want to volunteer to do. I promise. All I need is your email, and I'd love to share that with you.
Well, go ahead. What else?
No,
what about you, Donna?
I think we've said our piece.
So here's the other things I want you to know. So this Sunday, Connections Fair, gospel service, bring a friend to church. The following Sunday, Reverend Chris is going to be doing a whole service on voting. Not voting, like how to do it, but like the whole spiritual concept of voting. Because there's something coming up in November that we as a church need to get spiritually ready for, which is the election coming up. Then the following Sunday, we're having the Mike Foster Project come. We're going to have a brass service. And we're using that to launch our stewardship drive, which is about growing our oasis. We're going to talk about oasis. Oh, there's so much.
And that's a celebration.
Oh, and there's a thing we announced today. Not today. Oh, it's Wednesday. We announced it a few days ago that you could watch on October 19th. We are having, I wish I had the little graphic I could hold up, Queer Fed.
Yes.
Where we're invited. It's an LGBT celebration of Unitarian Universalist celebration for LGBT folks and their allies. And we've so far got, I believe, 3 people lined up to do performances. We have another we got a bunch. It's really exciting. It's going to be all day Saturday. And there's no, because it's now that time of year, there's no LSU home game that day. We're good to go.
Yeah,
right?
I learned about it yesterday. It is going to be exciting. And you know what? If you were getting my flyer that went out and my email, that was in there to save the date, October 18th.
The flyer is called Suzanne Bess's Best.
It's our flyer. Yeah. And if I could end with this quote.
Does anyone have a quote they would like to end with? And Donna, and sorry to do the housekeeping, you're going to hit that button at the end of it.
Okay, but she could have the last words because she really is the membership, what do you want to call her? Goddess. Membership goddess. Okay, here's the quote, and this is a UU quote. Here we go. When we talk about the need to be more diverse, inclusive, and equitable, we are talking about hospitality. Welcoming is everyone's ministry. That's from UU Widening the Circle, widening the welcome. Thanks for letting me do that.
And my last word is one sincere, guilt-free invitation can make all the difference for those who have simply gotten out of the habit of attending church, or those who are looking for a way to transform their lives.
Thanks, everybody, for listening. And it is Sunday.
It's Wednesday.